Silencer immediately as a response. Then you also have Timbersaw to block some of these tanky heroes. And Brewmaster, he can be a bit of a hit or miss as a hero.
Yeah, definitely can be. They're going to run right up this cliff, by the way. Stormhammer to start Figure, and now that leaves Bobica on the wrong side of all this.
They've got intelligence.
Dead for first blood. Who'll die first? It'll be Ame, then Bobica. XM getting second blood.
Oof, Marcy losing intelligence. It's this year.
It's a bit, yeah, losing intelligence that early is a bit rough. It does say 2-0 up top. That is not correct. It's just a HUD bug. This is the first game of the BO5 Grand Final.
Yeah. It's not the groundbreaking bug. It's not Queen of Pain with status resistance, Eon Disc with overhealing and everything.
Man.
Yeah, it always is us. I think this is actually you. I don't think I have anything to do with this. It's just that your overflow, your aura.
Oh God, I've got
break things.
I've got break aura. Great. I don't know if that's a good thing. Just the oh gosh, I need like bug spray, so I never encounter bugs ever again.
They are changing things around. They also saw which spells they used, because you wanted to have Gyrocopter with Rocket Barrage, dealing that damage, and there was also Shadow Word trying to save Marcy. So now Shaker decides to pull the lane back by using the Fissure, which I think is the correct choice, seeing that which spells they used. Emo playing super aggressive already. XM.
Yeah, no surprise, honestly.
Yeah, I want to see what the build on him is going to be. We saw XM yesterday, I believe, who did go for Spirit Vessel. Did lose that game, but it did look good rather than rushing Aghanim Scepter. A lot of the times you need that extra bit of a damage. It's also a very good stat item for Void Spirit, now that the part of it is Diadem instead of the booster.
Get a pause from Fly. This lane doesn't look like it's going to be that easy for Xtreme Gaming. It's a double melee lane.
It's more about surviving rather than playing aggressive in this lane. You're playing into very unfavorable matchup for you. Gyrocopter, Luna, these type of heroes have always been good against Timbersaw, having mixed damage, physical and magical. It's something that he really doesn't like to play into. So pulling the lane back, and you can see that Earthshaker is also pulling the second wave immediately. So they are going to be doing a lot of lane shenanigans, knowing that this lane is going to be pretty difficult for them to play into.
Curious to see what Ali goes for, because I know that to get some extra heal, we've seen a lot of Warlocks go 1-2. And we're going to get a replay on the First Blood. End up splitting up Bobica, and Ame ends up being thrown over the Fissure.
Not too happy about that one, but a good start for Old 11. He was the one who got that First Blood. We saw Brewmaster's Bobica's like, "Ooh, shit, man. -1, huh?"
I thought he was more like, "Oh, I threw him over. Awesome." A little giggle instead of a little upset that he lost that intelligence quickly. Yeah, Marcy, 339 mana. Also, one of the more meh innates on Marcy.
I don't agree with that one. I think this one is okay, considering that professional e-gamers, one thing that they can get better at is using the couriers. Every single game, you see couriers feeding on the map, but them being flying means also that you can bring extra region faster to your lane. And also Marcy has an ability to deliver. It's a relatively long cooldown, 4-minute cooldown with special delivery, the active one, where you can bring in healing salve immediately, bring smoke if you don't have it, if you're making the move straight away, blood grenade, some of these more impactful items that you can bring. Sometimes in the mid game, you're like, oh, she doesn't have a BKB, suddenly she clicks the items, and there's the BKB, which could turn around the whole fight. But yeah, I think this one's okay compared to Earth Spirit,
Rocks,
Mirana. Yeah, so some of these abilities are not that great. Even though Mirana's one got buffed from 20% to 50% sell at mana, I think we're going with a bit of a lore. This is what we want to have with innate abilities.
Yeah, lore-friendly innate abilities is all right. And then, you, like you said, Earth Spirits isn't great. He's just like, you want to see my rock collection? It's like, no, dude.
Those are minerals, okay?
Oh, sorry.
What was her name? That's from
I
Breaking
can't remember.
Bad. Skylar or something. And you can see special delivery in action. Boboka immediately bringing that healing salve. So this is actually pretty good. Back to full HP after getting harassed behind tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Emo. This matchup is pretty even. We saw it many times so far in the qualifiers, where both Void Spirit and Strong Spirit are getting a good amount of farm.
And Nemo's not afraid to get down dirty when he hits this level 6. He is very willing to play aggressive. He plays on the edge of the hero at all moments of the game. It really is insane. I mean, there was one point, was it the Queen of Pain game where he was getting help to get all water runes just to survive in that lane? Like, he knows the limits of a lot of these heroes just to play on the edge.
He was playing into not favorable matchup for him, playing into DP as Queen of Pain. So he actually DP'd to the mid lane, picked up the water rune, and then picked up the second water rune because of that TP. Then Boboka TP'd to the mid lane. He gave him Lotus. He gave him another rune. And that's how they played pretty much first 4 or 5 minutes, knowing that the matchup is not good.
We still got that deny, even though we got hit by that Aether Remnant. Things pretty quiet after the first blood situation, but I don't expect it to be too crazy. I would say maybe top there's a kill with like a Stormhammer and a Last Word Arcane Curse combo.
I could see Jinq maybe making a move to the top lane and trying to grab a kill, because you are leaving Timbersaw alone. It is against Warlocks, so you don't have, like, this is not some super controlling position 5 who's going to stop him from using the Timber Chain. He doesn't even have Timber Chain at the moment, but I would definitely love to see Jinq maybe focus more on stacking, focusing more on securing the runes rather than being in the lane with Timbersaw.
That's what they're doing. They're going over mid. Poloson's here. Last Word and the Arcane Curse onto a couple of these heroes. XM down a little bit low. Ollie also makes the return over to the mid lane, and he's only level 2, so he's got level 1 in the Shadow Word. It's not a lot of heal, but it is some. And you don't really need to be in the lane with XXS, right? He's got 2 levels in the reactive armor. Against just Fly, he's really not going to die, or he shouldn't.
Yeah, both of them are fine. Jinq roaming around the map, doing pretty much whatever he wants, knowing that they can't stop him. Let's see if he decides to maybe kill a courier or something in the bottom lane, because right now there's not much to do around the map. Basically, these 2 kills happened before the Horn, and seeing how strong, like, these are not the strongest laners. We have Gyrocopter, but we also saw them pulling the lane back. Jinq eating some of that damage, but still Fly should be more than fine.
Yeah, eating a full Rocket Barrage, you can see the damage that this Gyro can get out there solo. Some Fatal Bonds pressure put on. But overall, it's really nothing too crazy. The only one who's in trouble is this Sven. The damage is there, the Arcane Curse, the slow, the Last Word. Ame gets into the trees. He's running away from Old 11 and needs some help. And even Polosin might get this kill with the Arcane Curse. He just needs one more right click, but he won't be able to find it as he gets past the trees. Then Ame gets chased down by Old 11, who's got the speed and has the damage to get that kill on Sven.
Not sure where Polosin was, because they immediately initiated on top of him. This is not a real killer lane by any means. Marcy having the 1-1-1 build. Brewmaster also usually puts 1 point in Thunderclap. So already 1k gold lead.
Yeah, that was a little surprise that they got that kill on Sven. I didn't exactly expect it. But now XXS, who I said probably shouldn't die, is pretty deep here. And they've also got the help of Emo on this one, so they're able to get a kill on XXS, and Yakult coming out of the gates looking pretty good. Aether Remnant locks up Boboka, but he's got that toss over. The fissure will land, and they will finish off Boboka. Bringing in the silencer, that's another point into the brain drain and another point gone in that intelligence of Marcy.
A little surprised XXS doesn't have a point in Timber Chain. You are playing against Gyrocopter. It's the easy way to get away from Rocket Barrage. And not sure what he was doing there. Like, he basically died near the enemy tier 2 tower. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a question mark on where he was in that point.
What managed to get them to kill was Old 11 actually having boots on Brewmaster. This is not the item that you buy on the hero. You want to get your Radiance ASAP. You also have extra movement speed from Storm Brawler stance if you want to go for it. But yeah, maybe he knows. Maybe he played that matchup knowing that Silencer plus Sven, not the strongest matchup. So Ame will need a lot of time to recover in the jungle, going for the pretty standard stuff on Sven. Mask of Madness into Echo Saber, BKB Blink. You can't really deviate too much. Like Grimoire, 1 Warlock, 3 charges on it. That's 600 experience. Not enough to get him to level 6.
You always get to that point, though, where you're like, do I have enough Grimoire pages to go straight to 6? Or do I now want to just wait to get 6 naturally and rack up more Grimoire pages to push a quicker 12?
If nothing's happening on the map, I'm fine with him keeping it.
Yeah.
Also, maybe an extra point in Fatal Bonds. That extra bit of a damage, 3%. Could make the difference, lowering the cooldown. You might get it twice in a fight.
Yeah, that is always the question. We've seen some Warlocks just be in that proper position where a big fight's rolling in and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, the Warlock's 6. And he's got that chaotic offering and just drops it down. XM's over here top. Has some help with Pelosin, and Bobica might be in some trouble. Astral Step, they've got the Silence and the Arcane Curse. They are chasing, but now XM already have used that Aether Remnant. Won't be able to have the control to lock down the Marcy and get a kill there on a Bobica.
Nicely done by Bobica, realizing that they have no stuns available. Still using ability, even with the Arcane Curse on him, managing to get out of trouble. Jinq, he's involved in both of the kills. I mean, they had 1 kill immediately and then 1 kill in the mid lane. A bit of a slower start to the game for him. And Silencer, they would definitely love to have or be involved in more kills, seeing that both of them are level 4 at the moment.
Jinky making an ancient stack, just trying to get some more gold set up here for Ame, who is level 7 now. Bringing the gyro towards top, as well as Ollie, who went 2-3. So the level 5 point getting spent on Shadow Word rather than that extra point in the Fatal Bonds. Immediately they go back towards bottom. Fly comes top, sees there's nothing, back to bottom.
Ollie can be
chip
level
best
6
for Old 11.
Just a farming tool. 20 damage to creeps. Mystical enchantment, wants to get some extra mana regeneration. Both teams stacking a lot. I want to see who's going to be clearing those stacks. Jinq is still level 4, 10 minutes into the game. Would definitely love his Sven to maybe go there and try to clean it up. He's pinging it out. XXS. We saw also some of the stacks, at least some of the early ancient stacks belonging to the Timbersaw were played from the mid or from the off lane. And XXS is gonna solo smoke and kill those ancients, so doesn't want to take the damage.
Nothing like a smoke, stand there, AFK with Chakram taking of the ancients.
Yeah, this is what Budge players do.
Yeah, it's similar to the Radiance build or the Necroclick build.
Is it the Necrophos that is stuck on the hill, or Necrophos
two
just
different
in the
builds. Two different builds. I'm bailing. Very much 2 different builds. XM back top. Again, once you use this Aether Remnant, that's all the lockdown you have. So committing for this isn't exactly easy, and now that you've shown, it's given the opportunity for Emo to come over, and he's got a little bit left on this shield rune, and there's not really anything that Xtreme can do in that top lane with the lack of lockdown available to them.
They're giving them a lot of free time. Gyrocopter is free farming, so is Storm Spirit, and so is Brewmaster. He's very close to getting his Radiance, and if Brewmaster's off to a good start, they didn't kill him a single time, we saw that Brewmaster can scale, playing into a bit more difficult matchup, into instant lockdown from Earthshaker, into cleave from Sven. But we'll see how he's going to manage to do so. Xtreme Gaming also able to stabilize the game. 1k gold lead for Yakult brothers, so we'll see if it's gonna be enough. I think they are playing for a bit of a later timing. They want to get those items up, Aghanim Scepter and Void Spirit, seeing that the game didn't develop as they wanted it to. We're waiting for Sven to get his items, get to his Echo Saber, get to his BKB Blink Dagger. This is gonna be the big timing. And if they can keep it at 1k, 2k, this lineup from Xtreme Gaming still plays out better compared to the lineup on Yakult brothers.
Definitely does. It just makes me a little bit nervous. I've never really seen giving Emo free farm like this work out too well. They're going to go bottom, though, to look for Fly. Chaotic Offering gets used, and the last word in the Arcane Curse on a Fly is not going to be enough just yet. But Emo, all lightning in the Vortex. Global Silence gets committed, so there's nothing to stop this TP out from the Timbersaw of XXS. But they want more. They want to find anything on the map. Fissure and a totem, but Jinkyu dead to rights, and Old 11 gets credit for that kill. And he's almost got that Radiance. He's at 3,000 gold. Just needs a couple hundred more, and he'll pick up that Sacred Relic, finishing off the Radiance. And they save Fly.
I think the plan was for them to get level 6 on Silencer, steal some of that XP from Gyrocopter, but the creep didn't die immediately. Creep died afterwards, and then they needed the global to bail Timbersaw so he can TP out of the trouble. And Earthshaker was still not level 6.
Earthshaker struggling for levels, not level 6, 14 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, the Black Grimoire was consumed. So level 7 for the Warlock. Marcy's level 6, has Unleash ready to go if they can find a target for it. Not really many great targets for Unleash. You don't really want to get in the face of Void Spirit or Sven. Timber, you're not going to be able to do too much to, but Earthshaker's got Fissure and Totem where you might struggle to get the damage out. Silencer's really the only play. But as time goes on, maybe there's items here that Bobica can pick up that makes him feel a little bit more comfortable going in with Unleash. A bit worrisome, I would say, overall.
Very slow game.
Jump in.
One of the slower ones we've seen.
Fly. Very dead. Throws down that call down and that homing missile, but there really isn't much. I mean, they play this pretty well. They know that Timbersaw can get in there and do a good chunk of damage with the double chakram. And XM, he is well on his way to having this Ags. He's got the courier going out. Should be able to pick up that point booster and finish it off.
Look at where Emo's playing, knowing that he's playing against a good amount of control from Void Spirit, Global Silence, Earthshaker.
He's got to be careful now, though. The Ags is finished from XM, so he can jump in there, and they've got Silences ready to go. They're going to need a little bit of lockdown, but they've got the Fissure. They hit the Aether Ending, and with the Chakrams and the Whirling Death, they'll get him, and they'll pay for him being that far forward. And that is the Ags that he just picked up. XM TP'd the Tier 1 tower from the other Tier 1 tower, so it really wasn't that far to get to the secret shop quickly enough to have that Ags to go for that kill.
Once you get Aghanim Scepter on Void Spirit, it does allow you to go for more aggressive plays. Before that, you don't really have much. You basically have components of your Aghanim Scepter, so your impact is not as big. But you gotta get a really good timing. He's the second most farmed hero on the map. The biggest one is Old 11, who continues to just farm up. He's been farming the stacks in the triangle as well. About to crack level 12. Still yet to see Primal Split.
Ags finished on Fly. Yeah, we haven't really seen a Primal Split yet. We haven't seen a big team fight from Yakult just yet. Emo balling all the way forward, but I guess hoping to get a 16-minute rune. And it is an amplified damage that will be bottled up by Emo. Now he'll commit. He'll want to go for Pelosin. Doesn't have that Global Silence, so it's an easy kill there out of the Silencer. And they're going to look to get the Tier 1 tower over mid. They'll commit to that and get it as well. XXS stays bottom the entire time.
This might be
not rotating.
From Yakult brothers. We have amplified damage. Half duration left. Bobica will pop that ulti. Doesn't seem like Xtreme Gaming is going to do anything about it. The first
Yeah,
Aegis
XX has to
probably
stand by.
belongs to Emo. Second one, if they are going to get their hands on it, they will decide whether they want to siege the high ground. So it might be Fly, or if they think Fly is not going to be... Oh, interesting. Actually, Fly picks it up.
So does this hint you in on maybe the Yakult wanting to 5-man for the rest of the time? They've got this Ags they want to go?
It does say that Fly wants to get more involved. He is... Like, there's not that much of a difference in the middle of a pack between all the cores. They're pretty much all sitting at the same amount of farm. Less than 800 difference. So he wants to be more active. Might be because he's playing a Sven matchup where if he gets jumped, he's going to get to delete it. One fissure, one stun from Sven, who is getting more and more farmed. He is definitely catching up. If Ahmed doesn't die in the next few minutes, definitely his net worth is going to skyrocket.
Bringing everybody over. They do have Global Silence ready to go, but this is going to be an Aegis. Ahmed not here. He is still farming, so they're going to have to do it without him. And it looks like they should be able to get this Aegis, but I say that, they jump in. Bobica jumps over, and now they've got the Echo Slam, and that ends up being Bobica dead instead. They wanted to go for Fly. They baited a reaction and get the kill onto Bobica.
And I really like that Jinkyu didn't opt to go for Blink Dagger as his first item. Instead, he bought the Shard, which does give him to play slightly off the distance. And it's also much cheaper option, 750, less gold. And they definitely felt like they need something to fight right now. Also, Fly. He needs to be careful. Ame disassembled his Echo Saber, has BKB. So he can come to the top lane as well. TP in, level 15 Sven. Does have that 10 talent, Vanquisher bonus damage, which brings it up to 30%. So whoever is stunned, Sven will deal 30% bonus damage.
They find Jinkyu. Fissure, though, comes through, and then they've got Xen making the jump forward. Chaotic Offering comes in. He's using the people, but Ame's behind with God Strength going after Ali. They get the kill into Jinkyu, but the Aegis already used. Close on the run from Emo. That's going to be 3 heroes dead on the side of Xtreme as they got XM. Emo again just doing work and finding just open space to make the damage count.
If they're going to be focusing down Void Spirit, that's the big one. Even though he dealt the most damage, he still needs a little bit of extra protection. You can still feel that Sven needs that extra item. He needs Blink Dagger to get on top of people, and he needs somebody to keep them in place. Warlock, he just ran down the river and down the stream, and he couldn't catch him.
It was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, Ame committed there and didn't really find anything. He'll still need some time. He's got the Echo Saber built again. He's going into the Blink Dagger, then Daedalus. Emo now silence up. And the Global Silence committed. Dissimulate. Chakram off the mark. Emo's going to have Ball Lightning and a TP now. They use that Global Silence, and the tip coming out from Emo just feels like he knows he's feeling this game at the moment.
He's gonna focus him. He's gonna focus him in the next fight. That's what happened previous time. When he died, when he got globaled, immediately jumping him, taking him out of the fight.
He got globaled, and you just hear Emo just go, "Hoo." And then he went right for Silencer. He'll pick up a kill over mid, showing off that BKB. Emo using that 9-second BKB to get a pickoff in that mid lane. Ame's top of the net worth, but as we saw, he still needs a little bit more to hold on to these heroes. The stuns aren't... I'm going to say this. There are 3 ways of locking down. Like, you do have the Aether Remnant, you do have Stormhammer, and you've got the Fissure, but it's not exactly the best combination of stuns.
No, and they are getting away with too much. Yakult brothers playing the map really well. Old 11 didn't die a single time.
Uh-oh.
Bobica has Heal Scepter.
Yeah, and he's going to use it. Bolosin in trouble, or is he? The jump forward as he gets silenced. Bobica now has to be careful. Got this Radiance to burn him up, but Bobica still did the Astral Step of XM, so it'll be a trade for supports. Got Brewmaster going for this Manta style, almost finished for Old 11.
A great way of dealing with silences. Cheap way. Makes you super tanky. You are also a hero. You're also a universal hero. You do benefit a lot from it. They need 2 big items. They need both Blink Daggers. One on Earthshaker, one on Sven to be able to play the game. Manta style probably also going to be completed in the next end.
Old 11's been having a pretty good qualifier so far.
Yeah, he had some really nice moves, but he also had a couple of those Old 11.
Yeah, the coin flip moves.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, this is a team that has gone through offlaners kind of the way LGD used to. They were when they played that ACL Challenger, they had Zeal as their offlaner. And then they went to Beyond. Beyond was only on the team for a month, and now they're on Old 11, who's been here for about a month. He has not been here that long. But they need an offlaner that gives them a little bit of consistency, and we've kind of said he hasn't exactly done that. Ame forced to BKB. You know, sometimes it's just a coin flip.
Yet to see Ame in action. About to crack level 18.
He's tried.
Unfortunately, BKB is on cooldown for another full minute. I want to see the damage though, because he hasn't been involved in pretty much anything. A bit of a slower game on Xtreme Gaming. This is going to be some 2,000 damage from Sven.
Yeah, it's not a lot at the moment, is it? But he is getting a lot of... Now he's going into the MKB. He had Daedalus queued up before, but now he's going Blink MKB. Also, I'm going to tell you this now, Lacoste. You've covered a couple grand finals things with me. We know this is 5 games already.
Oh, most definitely. At least I hope so. I was expecting a little bit more... Like, we had some crazy starts to the game with 30 kills at 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But we also had a bit of slower starts. Had to poke them with the stick to do something. Didn't work.
From all the way over here.
Yeah. I need a big stick. I don't have one, unfortunately.
Okay. Amplify damage top. Fly gonna pick this up. Hit by that Aether Remnant immediately, but Glimmer Cape to be saved if anybody were gonna make the jump in on that one. Quiet game overall from XXS. I mean, it's a quiet game from everybody, truthfully. It's only 16 kills at 24 minutes. It's not a bad game by any means from XXS. His farm is pretty much there with the bulk of them. The only one struggling, and I say that in quotes because it's not really much of a struggle, it's just lower net worth at the, time, is XM. But he's 3-1-2. Like, it's not a bad game from him by any means yet.
A little bit of Kale action has to happen every single game.
Who? Yeah, we sometimes the lobbies don't start immediately. You load in everybody, the timer goes down, and we get kicked back to the lobby. And there's always somebody who's asking the question, who was it? Who didn't load in? But then you get this as well. This is a staple of Chinese Dota, is the Kale. Somebody's got to disconnect, figure it out, and they'll be right back in. I never seem to get these problems.
Who was it during DPC? It was very aggressive. Every single time somebody didn't load into the game, it was immediately like, who? Capital.
It was the offlaner at the time for LGD, wasn't it? Was it Zhao Yu?
No, I don't think it was Zhao Yu. Felix Xiaoba, was it him?
He used to ask who a lot. Jinkyu is also a guy who was asking who a lot. They would get mad at us who's not loading in. Meanwhile, it was one of them. One of the players. Old 11. BKB AC is on the docket. He's got this Manta style finished. And I'll try to help him stay alive, purge that silence, be able to get the primal split off. Gyro, he went upgraded Poor Man's Shield. So he went Dormant Curio, and now he's got the Poor Man's Shield post Curio. The Unleashed Poor Man's Shield. I like having this item back in
Have more
here.
damage block. It's all about that survivability. Going into Butterfly. Emo is in.
EKB, Emo's in, looking for Jinkyu, and they're going to get the kill into Bobica. They go to the global silence. And Emo now in some trouble. Resonant Pulse, silence, there it is again. Aether Remnant, God Strength, Ame looking for it. Essence Ring, Ball Lightning in the TP attempt. But the Fissure gets the kill. Jinkyu well placed with that Fissure to finish off Emo.
And now it feels like this lineup is back. They were keeping up with the network, but all these silences, playing into global silence, and Ame, you can feel him now dealing the damage. About to crack level 20. He'll have even more protection for his team, even more armor. This lineup kind of plays itself. It's very easy. You see a target, you blink initiate. Now that you have all 3 cores, basically 4 cores. If he's going to start to scale as well, it's very easy to start a fight for them.
Old 11 killed that courier of XXS the second before it was going to get there. Ooh, Timber Chain stopped with the jump forward, and that was Bobica also bringing in Old 11. And he could, but he's also got Chaotic Offering in his face to stop that TP. Pelosin also did a fly. XXS, he's in some trouble. Chakram's doing some decent damage, but just not good enough. And Ali gets the kill on XXS. Not only that, they stopped him from getting his Aghanim Scepter by killing off that courier. It had the other 2 components on it. So it makes him that much easier to kill. And committing that Chaotic Offering to getting that stop on the TP gets them a second.
Not bad. Roshan. Bobica is sitting inside a Roshan pit to see when it's going to respawn, and it should be respawning in the next couple of seconds.
This is going to really tick off Fly, by the way.
He left the pit, but Ollie's coming back into the pit. So they know Roshan is up. Timbersaw's going to be also ready to take a fight. I don't think this time they will let them have it. They need to take a full 5-on-5. Ame finished off his MKB, seeing that there is a Butterfly.
He finished it before Fly got his own Butterfly. Now he's got the Butterfly, but but he had only the Demon Edge built because he, didn't want to show that he was making that MKB. And now you get this Butterfly, which you're going to think is this great timing for Gyro, but there's already the MKB on Sven.
They hear the roar. He could chop shop it and get...
Yes, this is always the bait potential, right?
In.
Falling in Stormhammer, the
Emo got stunned.
Oh, Ame! With the God Strength, the cleave damage, Fly and Emo already dead. Bobica falls to XM, and that just works out perfectly. This feels like it's the first primal split of the game, and it's just not gonna net them any positives. It's Jinkyu able to get away, and Old 11's also gone. 4 heroes dead on the side of Yakult.
And this is why we said that this Sven is going to have a good time. He just needed good 25-30 minutes to farm it up, and suddenly he is the king of this game. They don't have enough survivability, surprising him with MKB. Gyrocopter sitting at 2.6k HP, but it's not enough. And Emo, I think he got clipped by the
Stormhammer. Yeah.
And suddenly just disappeared. He's not tanky at all.
Oh. Yeah, there's the cleave damage because he's hitting Fly while he kills him. They jump in, and this is a little bit of a delayed reaction. XM's just kind of in here, and then look at that Stormhammer and the cleave damage. XM also helping out. Had that Resonant Pulse and the Dissimulate, but damn, that damage from Sven. And this is what? The first primal split of the game that just doesn't do anything for them?
I think we said it multiple times. Playing Brewmaster into Sven is just not fun. At least he has ability to cancel it early, but still you're get out and you're gonna die. So playing into Radiance, playing into Drunken Brawler, Storm Brawler, plus Butterfly makes it this MKB getting them so much value out of it. Jinkyu.
Ball lightning all the way through the Vortex combination, and they will get a kill here on a Jinkyu, getting them some gold. Decent gold for Emo for that kill. He wants a Hex, and I think this is a pretty big item for them to get if they can surprise Ame with it. But they have to get to that point of getting this Hex, and we've seen a lot of Storm Spirits as well. They've gone for the Ags a little bit later on in the game.
Yeah, especially with Gyrocopter. There was a game yesterday where they almost managed to pull it back with some nice vortexes. into overwhelming damage from Gyrocopter, Flak Cannon. There was also a Divine Rapier in that game. But Xtreme Gaming, they need one good fight. And suddenly this game kind of opened up immediately. Emo does have a gem. Wants to remove some of that vision. Go for more like pick-off mode. Where that's why he's building into Hex as well, where they want to initiate onto target and kill it. Have something. There's still got to be Global Silence, Fissure potentially coming out.
XM having quite the game, 5-1-5. He feels very strong, and he went to this early Ags. He's got his man to style as this shard. That shard making that Aether Remnant rotate as a clock, but Ame getting a kill on old 11.
That's a solo kill.
And ripping him up. That Global Silence used, and that was some big-time damage. All Lightning Vortex, do they have the control to get a kill here on XM? They don't. They'll even commit the call down. That was 2,800 damage coming through from Sven with no chance of survival for old 11. Ball Lightning in again and all the way back. Got some decent Fatal Bonds damage, but they need to take out this banner. And Sven now has a Satanic. I don't even know how you kill Ame at this point.
Even if they get the initiation, they need to throw everything. I still don't think there's going to be enough for them to kill it, because they need to commit with all the BKBs, double BKB, Rock, and if he lives there, if he gets Satanic off, double hit with Echo Saber / Harpoon, they lost the fight. All it takes is Global Silence, Fissure. This is a very, very difficult game. That's why we said at the start that this lineup from Xtreme Gaming definitely favorable. It's just they're going to need a little bit more time to come online, especially with the start that they did have, because both supports, they were level 4, 13 or 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And Ame, all he had to do is continue to farm up.
Way easier to commit to farming when you're not in a pub because your team trusts you. But when you're in a pub and you're getting rushed and you're getting told to fight, sometimes you come over to the fight a little bit too early, but Ame came ready with items and comes ready for Fly. They've got that Yules. Ball down committed, Fissure through, as well as the totem on a Bobica blocking them out from leaving, but they've got the Ball Lightning into the Vortex, trying to get a kill on a Jinkyu, who will Yules up into the air, throws down that Echo Slam, and they will eventually take out this Earthshaker. Now Ame's still in with this God Strength. XM comes through on the other side. Aether Remnant, Global Silence. Oh, 11. No Primal Split again. They have nothing to stop the TP of Fly. They will look for this Warlock and find him. Ollie dead too. 3 heroes gone.
They know if this Sven is just a menace. He can hold his BKB for a long time, knowing that they can't really lock him down. There was no Hex available on Emo. He's trying to creep skip, but they also have the full creep wave. There is Glyph available. The Cold Brothers might need to pop it here.
They can clean up these creep waves with some ease. They've kept this range creep alive, though. Big problems for Yakult, down 16,000 net worth. All down will come through to kill off that creep. You need to be careful. Level 25 now for Ame. Has him that extra 50% God Strength damage, though. Ball Lightning in. Emo with the BKB very early, but Ame turns it around with the BKB of his own.
God Strength is ready.
They'll go with the God Strength. They've got the damage. They'll look over at Fly. He needs to get out of here. He's going to be jumped with Bobica out, but Fly still dies to Pelosin. And with no Gyrocopter, this is looking like game 1 is done and dusted, as they will look for old 11, who will finally get that Primal Split off.
Look
But
at
the
Fissure,
the damage, oh God, old 11 ripped apart. Forced to go all the way back into the base, but there's the jump forward from Bobica. They'll buy back on this Warlock. Fatal Bond's placed down, and the Chakrams just missing their mark, but this is the side of Xtreme Gaming. Very, very confident to dive in that deep.
They know. Sven also just hit level 25, so everything is pretty much aligning perfectly for them. BKB coming off cooldown. 3 seconds left on God Strength, so they continue to go. Now 30 seconds on BKB, 30 seconds on God Strength. Jinkyu also has Echo Slam available.
Storm trying to collect some lotuses, I guess.
Ame's pretty much 6-slotted now.
Yeah. Could get shard, could get eggs if he wants.
That mischance, butterfly, evasion, radiance, doing absolutely nothing. He does have 80% chance from Monkey King Bar, and he also has 20% chance on Serrated Shiv. Not 100%, but it's almost up there.
Gyro did disassemble the butterfly and now has the satanic.
There's 3 options that he can go for. He can get butterfly out of it, and it seems like he wants to get the disperser. Usually we do see Swift Blink. Maybe he would pick it up if his Storm Spirit had Aghanim Scepter, and if he had maybe another item, another damage item, so he can go in and try to deal that damage. But it's very difficult against Sven. He pops the Warcry, and suddenly, like, usually Brewmaster, or if you have any kind of a dispel, it's really nice against Warcry before he gets the shard, and right now he doesn't have it. But Brewmaster pretty much dies. He doesn't even get the chance to react to what's happening in the fight if Sven is focusing him down.
You saw even the Brewlings, though. He gets the Primal Split off, and they're just dead immediately. Doesn't really have to do anything.
1,
Speaking
2,
of which,
3, dead.
No chance.
He bought back. He bought out. Black King Bar, 9 seconds, doesn't get it off. This fight is 4v5 for a good 60 seconds, which means that they are going to be getting megas.
Amplified damage. The last 5 seconds or so available on Ame. They use this glyph. They've got the diffusal finished off, but they need the disperser.
On Ame.
Stormhammer in. Lands onto both Marcy as well as the Warlock. They'll throw the Chakrams forward. Fly trying to put out some damage there. There isn't much for them to do, though. They do hold off Mega Creeps for the moment, though.
A little surprised they didn't want to commit. There's no God Strength, but there's still BKB. I don't think he should die, but they could also take it slowly. Roshan may be alive, and Roshan's going to be respawning in a minute. What happened to Roshan's clock? Why can't, ever since we added all these new things, all the new information, clock just stopped working. This is literally 1 minute, and it says it might respawn. We were always smarter than professional e-athletes in one regard.
They're trying to get XM.
When Roshan's going to respawn. XM.
Can they kill him? Fissure. Dissimulate. Emo going to stick with it. Emo even going to commit to this.
They also have
BKB, global silence. And BKB is going to wear out. They aren't going to get the kill on XM. But XXS has that Ags. Jinku with the blink as well as the fissure. Oh, man, Emo. He'll end up dead. They're going to focus their attention on a Fly who's able to pop his own BKB, but can he get his life back here? Satanic on cooldown for 10 more seconds. He needs to run away from Ame, who's got the God Strength. The fissure lands onto 2 of these heroes. Ali surviving for the moment, doesn't have that chaotic offering or used earlier in the fight. And they are just ripping through these heroes. 2 already gone on the side of Yakult. They've got Fly with the Satanic again, but XM is here, and it does not matter. Fly can't do anything. They'll call GG and Xtreme take game 1 in this BO5 Grand Final.
They made it look so easy. Especially because they wanted to take it slowly after even, I don't know, drop down a tombstone, whatever. Just have something. I said 65-35 for the previous game for Xtreme Gaming. Gonna be sticking with those numbers, and this one might be even higher. I think
70-30.
Maybe even. I think Yakult Brothers are having some of the issues playing against Xtreme Gaming. They are getting outdrafted, so they need to outplay them. But again, with the lineup like this, it needs to be a lot of tempo. It needs to be Boboka doing some crazy shit, maybe going for, we've seen 9 class going for armlet type of a build where he wants to solo kill the guy. XXS is going to be, or at least that Prophet, are going to be these heroes that can be killed from 100 to 0 if he's going to be going for that. But not an easy task for him to ask, because who's going to be setting things up? Emo needs to go in. He needs to soak up a lot of that attention. But again, they do have good amount of control against him.
And what's the kind of build that Emo needs to go for in a game like this? Because if he's going to be playing aggressive like that, are we looking more for that first item Ags or that Spirit Vessel kind of build?
I think he needs to go Vessel. You're playing against Timbersaw and that Prophet. You want to be reducing that healing and having much more impact. He's still thinking about it. He is toying with the idea, already queued up his items in a quick buy with the treads and everything. But if you're going for Spirit Vessel, you kind of want to not buy treads immediately. I think you want to start with Earn and then see how it's going to go.
We'll have to see. I'm worried for Yakult in this one. But it does start with Emo probably having a good time over in the mid lane. He is back on a Spirit Hero, so he is, of course, with that Spirit Hero level 30. This lane again top, though, for Yakult doesn't really feel like it's got kill potential. Maybe on Jinkyu with a net and a reel in, but Timber feels like he's going to have a fun game overall, and Polosin getting behind the tier 1 tower and taking out a courier. This does worry me. But how can Fly do on this TA? Great farming hero, but do you have the lockdown and the damage that'll make a difference in a game like this?
Yeah, I think both of them will need to be paired up together, position 1 and position 2, to be able to do stuff. XXS, again, playing the same lane with Earthshaker, who's giving them free time. And now pulling the lane. Ollie, he can't really do much. Deluge is nice. It sets the max movement speed to 230, but Jinkyu doesn't care too much about it. Again, finding a way how to play the lane, which can't really be punished.
This will be XXS again, going into most likely 2 in the reactive armor, and then Jinkyu's free to do whatever he wants. Like, you could see Fly, yeah, he tickles XXS, but overall, like, it really isn't something that discourages him in the lane.
Trying to pull the lane to the stack camp on the side, but XXS also draws the aggro of the creeps, pulls it next to the tower, where he's going to be having tower regeneration as well, have more protection. These are experienced athletes. They know these matchups really well, and they're doing the same thing in the bottom lane. Boboka pulling the lane back between tier 1 and tier 2 tower. He wants some of the solo XP for himself. They don't want to play against ET. 2 melee matchups into ET could be a bit more difficult.
How good are these matchups going to feel for him? Wi-Fi's getting some decent CS over in this lane, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, bottom lane's not going to be fun going up against the Medusa Elder Titan combo. Right now, Boboka, he's by the tier 2 tower and has left Old 11 to kind of just get some solo experience and farm in front of the face of Polosin and Ame. Gotta be careful. Elder Titan will run at you and make your life a little bit more miserable when that spirit comes in and gives that extra damage.
Xtreme Gaming also doing much better in the lanes. This was, I would say, never, maybe even was a team that was heavily focused on the lanes, but seeing them how they're playing the lanes so well in these qualifiers gives me a good hope if they're going to be qualifying and playing against international teams where they're pushing out the waves. They also did pick up both of the Lotuses in the sides, playing these matchups real nicely, securing the farm for both Medusa and their Timbersaw.
Yeah, Timbersaw already set here 102. XXS should feel fine. That leaves Jinkyu to kind of roam around. Right now, just in the face of Ali. Not going towards mid or anything yet for the 4-minute water runes, but we should see some rotations for that 6-minute power rune. Wouldn't be surprised. Timo's got that bottle. He's picked up those boots. He's doing well against this Death Prophet. It's about even. But a couple more denies here for XM overall. And there's the net, there's the fissure, a little Crypt Swarm action. Might be first blood to simulate lands, and it's first blood for Emo on a rotation from Jinkyu, where he tries to help XM out, but ends up hurting him more than anything by giving that first blood over to Emo.
Wanted a little bit too much, I would say. Needs to be careful about reel in, pull from Remnant, getting close to the tower. How's Old 11 doing? We didn't talk too much about him, sitting at only 14 CS in the bottom lane.
Doom kind of existing. We've seen this be okay against the Medusa, though. The Doom holding on to mana burn, and making Medusa's life harder. It was Ame in a safe lane that I believe was playing the Doom when we saw it against Medusa. Held onto that mana burn pretty much the entire game. Let's see if that ends up being the case. 5-5. There was potentially a fissure to lock him under the tower, but not thrown over, and won't end up being in any dangerous positions thus far. Another movement over. Jinkyu only level 2. This is one of the things that they kind of had happen in game number 1, where their supports were low on experience.
He is stacking pretty much the same thing he did in game number 1, going for the rune, XM. Oh, he's going to pick up the shield rune. Has 2 Spirit Siphon charges, so he's fine. Doesn't have that much mana to work with, but again, he does have Magic Wand charges if he wants to pop it. Even Boboka came to the mid lane.
Yeah, Boboka is also just sitting here at level 2. The supports in terms of experience don't exactly have a lot. You know, with an Astral Step on to XM. As that second step, has himself 8 wand charges there too. This is left old 11 to try and farm up by himself up against Ame, who doesn't have a lot of mana, but does have 8 wand charges, mangoes, and lotus petals ready to go.
I really like adjustments from Ame. Seeing that there is mana burn creep on Doom, does pick up second Null Talisman to have that extra bit of mana regeneration. Mana regen has been nerfed on Medusa, intelligence gain, Mystic Snake, mana gain also has been nerfed to Jinkyu.
Ooh, this is going to be tough. Fissure. Emo, now 3 heroes here, has to concede the Shrine of Wisdom. That one was a little bit dangerous, but he won't pay for it really at all. Both teams getting their Shrine. Another one picked up by Boboka, who is halfway to level 4.
Old 11, diving bottom, burning his mana constantly.
Yeah, Ame, you know, he is ready with the mangoes and the wand charges, but he's only got 2 wand charges now and 2 mangoes. A little bit nervous that
available
if he pops...
on Poloson.
Yeah, so they do have a lot of mana for him, but if he pops those mangoes, he might just end up getting mana burden again. Doom is used, and they
pop
feed
those
him
mangoes.
A bunch of mangoes. It's a feast for this Medusa. A way to stop the Doom from being effective. I mean, he ate both mangoes. Polosin gave him both mangoes. That was...
And also, you can use items while you're doomed, which this is why matchup against Medusa isn't really that great. So she uses Magic Wand, she gets mana back, doesn't get the HP back, but it's still more than fine. XM, first Exorcism.
Over in the top lane. He's trying to disrupt the farm of Fly because he's doing well. Top of the net worth at the moment. Being really greedy over here. God. So Doom on cooldown for 70 seconds, but they're going to make the jump on a Polosin over bottom. Gorgon's Grass used by Ame. Astral Step again. Polosin still alive. Mystic Snake. Emo. He is 1 shot from dead. Ollie gets that kill on a Polosin, but man, oh man, is Emo playing on the edge.
Emo, he was down to 11 HP, and now Ollie is running away. XM, 346. Never mind. XXS is here.
Come through the gate. Whirling Death, get a kill, go back. Life is easy. Thanks for the kill participation, XXS. What is Boboka got queued up? All right, just Gloves of Haste. Wondering, yeah, he's got treads.
You were thinking about Hand of Midas, huh?
No. I'm wondering if like Boboka does something real out there. I'm wondering what out there item he would go for. He is in trouble though. And by out there, I mean he's dead out there. Emo's going for Midas. He's got those gloves of haste picked up, but he wants the Midas, so he thinks this game's going to be slow, which has been the case. I mean, between these two teams. Hey guys, all right,
in and
bye,
out.
guys.
Use Soul Ring and look at the smile on his face.
It's a smile of a guy who's been in the pro scene since he was 15.
He's
XXS,
still
a real
really
staple
young.
of the Chinese scene. Yeah, he's like 24 or something like that. He's been here forever. Ame, bottom lane, in trouble. This time, Doom again. Where's your mangoes? Oh, he gets a couple, but it's not going to matter this time around. Fly's got the extra damage. Pelosin, he'll be chased. Meanwhile, XM got the kill onto Emo. That's a double kill for Fly, and now they even look for XXS, but Old 11 doesn't have a lot of health to really dive in deep on this.
While all this was happening, they did manage to get the kill on Emo in the mid lane, getting some valuable XP for Earthshaker. We saw Xinkyu not having that much XP in the previous game at the early start. He's about to crack level 6 right now. They will take another tower without committing with Exorcism, and he does have 6 Spirit Collector already.
Is that a good number? I'm never really sure with this this facet.
yeah.
Like, what's a really good Spirit Collector number?
You just want to be active on the map,
Okay.
get some
Sure.
kills. Those ghosts, they become much stronger, and then you can go for a push. It also looks funny when you trap them inside.
Ame again. He's got 4 wand charges, and that's it.
Lost all of his mana. Ahmed doesn't have that much farm. He's actually the lowest net worth core in this game. Fly having a blast of a game. And look at this. This is something that Mickey did the first time I saw it. This was maybe even a full year ago, where he did go for Maelstrom as his item. So instead of going for physical damage, seeing that there is Medusa, there is Timbersaw as well. So wants to deal a bit of a mixed damage, physical and magical. And also knowing that eventually Medusa will pick up Butterfly for preparing
Exo.
for that.
Coming through the sleep. Emo Echo Slam committed by Xinkyu. Emo tipped by Pelosin. That was, I think that's
from the last
retribution
game.
From the last game when he tipped him his silencer. Xinkyu with a fissure getting that double kill. Yeah, that's retribution. We gotta look at Emo's webcam for a second. See if he's doing all right. I'm kind of.
We're not in
curious.
question mark territory yet. They need to lose this game, and then he's gonna be ready.
He's still kind of smiling. No hard. I think when you call yourself the god of the mid lane, and you've got the personality that Emo does, I think you know tips are gonna come back your way.
Oh, for sure.
Doom
This
use,
is a big kill.
good fissure on a 3, but they've got the net. They have the reel in. This should be an easy kill, and it will be. Old 11 getting credit for that one. They want more. Hey, Pelosin, if you die, just know you're also probably getting tipped. But Old 11, he gets caught. XXS is here. Fly shows up. Has some decent damage on the XXS, but just not enough to really commit the fissure under the tower. Fly will start to back away, clean up some creeps before doing so. Out of Atos for XM.
He was thinking what he needs to buy, thinking about getting the Aghanim Scepter straight away, but this is also your setup for the Silence. Silence projectile speed has been increased by 200 in the previous patch, which makes it actually a viable spell. I think we might also, considering how strong Death Prophet is right now, maybe we don't need to do anything to her, but I would also love this Silence to be something else, like we did with Drow Ranger Silence, where it's actually a gust now, so it pushes people away. I would love to see some kind of an improvement to this Silence as well, so it's not just a flat Silence. I don't know if you played Artifact, but there's a guy called Rex that had absolutely nothing. Drow Ranger had 4 mana Silence that did AoE to the neighbors, to the adjacent units, and his Silence costs 5 mana, and it's only on 1 unit.
Hey, you're still one of like 7 people who still play that
Shut
game.
up.
I'm trying to teach you magic over the green room, and you're just like, you want to play some Artifact? I'm like, I don't know about
I like
that.
card games. I always did.
Yeah.
Fly,
Meanwhile,
fly.
by the way, all right, fly.
All right, fly, fly. I said it first. Fly, fly. Might get caught here. Hiding with Meld.
He is hiding with Meld. By the way, there was a there was an Echo Stomp missed on Emo. Tipped Boas and back right away.
This is what
here.
Maelstrom gets you. You get to sit in the Meld and do absolutely
There
nothing.
we go.
Eventually, he is going to run away. We'll place a trap near the Twin Gate to make sure he's going to be seeing those rotations.
I was sitting in that Meld like he was charging up a Spirit Bomb. I mean, a couple episodes trying to get some extra power, but now he's out of the Meld. He's happy. Level 13. Ame only currently level 11.
Ame was thinking what he needs to buy. And he's like, oh, enemy carry. He's going for Maelstrom. That must be a really good item. I will copy what he's doing because I am far behind and I need to catch up. He's almost 3,000 gold behind him at the moment. He saw the Maelstrom and for sure definitely decided that he will not be going for the Butterfly this game. Instead, this is going to be Maelstrom / Mjolnir into Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim Scepter is basically your old level 25 talent, which does apply secondary attacks from the split shot, and it also increases the arrow count, so extra targets 5. Makes it insane amount of damage that you deal. It's also good because you proc through refraction. Like Maelstrom proc takes off 2 charges with the attack.
"17 minutes in, things are quiet again. Does feel like this benefits Xtreme, but this time around, Ame is not nearly as farmed as this Fen.
People definitely need a bit more time in this game compared to the previous game where he was the one controlling the tempo. Now it needs to be XM, it needs to be XXS, and they are building into different items as well. They are going for Lotus Orb, removing the Silence Trap from TA, which is going to come out shortly. Great against Doom, great against Sunder as well, removing Reflection. And seeing what Old 11 is going for. He wants to scale. His BKB is getting delivered on the courier. Actually just got it.
They've got 2 drums. He's got drums. Terrorblade's got drums. We call that in the hippie crowd who watch fish. It is a drum circle. So, you know, it's fun times together.
Never been a part of hippie group.
It's
Probably
fun.
missed out a lot in
There's
life.
still time. Doom, reflected Lotus. That puts it back on old 11. The fissure through the middle. The Earth Splitter also landing, but that's going to be a dead XXS. Doom should be able to survive through this. There was that extra damage from Fly. Emo coming through looking for the 8th rim that doesn't land onto XM.
Makes you with double
got
damage.
the stun. There's the fissure on a Fly. Doesn't have the refraction. Taking a lot of damage. Needs to go off to the side, but the silence lands. They go to the song, and now they're going to try and TP out. Good job there by Ollie. Good song to save Fly, who is definitely in danger.
Oof. This could have been a disastrous fight. Ame coming in clutch with amplified damage. Gets a really good stone gaze as well. Exo. This is why Naga Siren is good, because you can disengage a fight. But again, I would still love to see some kind of a combo. Even though XXS gets the Lotus Orb on Doom, he still has BKB, didn't even use it. Keeps the distance while XXS does take down from all the damage. Ame will need to get some extra farm. Right now, he's straight up not having a good time.
No, he wants to get off this wild ride. But he's happy with it. I think XM's doing a pretty good job, but his farm is kind of lacking as well. That being said, compared to Evo, he's ahead. He's fine. The supports are pretty farmed, everybody but Ollie.
Emo did go for Hand of Midas. He loves to build weird items, I swear. I mean, I always go back to the story when he was building Blink Dagger on Storm Spirit, or Blink Dagger on Ember Spirit, or multiple Divine Rapiers on Ember Spirit.
Always fun to watch the Emo builds. There's been a lot of those, I would say.
No, he definitely became more stable. Like when he was still playing for LGD, when he didn't play for LGD for a long time, I was like, is he gonna be a good fit? playing under Zhao 8 with this type of a mentality might not just work out in Jinkyu.
He is dead
Very
here to
dead.
Fly. But old 11, he has found himself Ame for a second. It doesn't matter though. Fly is focusing his attention onto Pelosin, and they still want to go. Ame's going to need some help here. Stone Gaze used. XXS, XM near the area. But not enough just yet. They might even continue to find some chase if they can get into the face of Ame. They still have old 11 holding on to this mana burn.
Right now, there's a lot of illusion. Put your position 4 and 5 have illusions to push out the waves, so lanes are never going to be in a good spot. And this is also a cheap way of scouting things out. I don't think I've seen this duo of the support yet in meta.
Roshan being taken. They have the scan. They have the one of the greatest heroes in stopping it in Elder Titan. But we'll see if they can even stop this from happening. The sleep comes through. The Exo is used. This Roche is low. The silence thrown out. That's going to land on a Fly. Fissure hits. Ollie's dead. He is dead very early on in the fight, but they go to the BKB. They're going to put the Lotus Orbits onto XM, reflecting some of these spells. Or Splitter. Emo, he's one shot from dead. Astral Step out of there. They got the kill on a Roshan, but it is picked up the Aegis by Fly.
Jinkyu will finish him off.
Pelosin tipping Jinkyu, knowing that maybe a tip to Emo might piss him off more enough where he starts playing even better, so he tips his ally instead.
Not too bad of a fight for them. Medusa didn't deal that much damage, but the rest of the team did. They had to commit. Lotus Orb came in slightly too late. Ame going for a bit of a different build than what we have seen, even though this build has been popular ever since Medusa has been introduced, because she was meta from the off lane, she was meta from the safe lane as well. Even some position 4, I remember Saksa playing it. We can start to scale later on. But Maelstrom is now completed.
That last fight kind of showing the lack of full-on team fight from Yakult. I mean, also the fact that Ali is just so vulnerable. He died immediately in that fight.
Not really a surprise. Look at his items.
Yeah.
Headdress and arcane boots. These are his items at the moment.
He has caught up a little bit to the Elder Titan, but the other two supports in the game are way ahead. Bobica looking for a 4-staff, has those Vlads, as well as the other pair of drums. Emo. Midas trying to pay off. He is 600 gold away from having this Aghanim Scepter.
Midas slowly paying off.
Dividends. Always looking for the dividends. Shard being built for Templar Assassin. You want to have that extra upgrade on these traps. Get that silence. That could really make things much better. BKB forced out of old 11. And they also get the kill on a Pelosin. I mean, Fly is here. And he's looking for more. He's looking for a kill here onto the Earthshaker. But now XXS comes around. XM's here with the Exorcism. The Hurricane Pike, the right-click damage, doing some
It's
work.
a lot of damage.
But
This
everybody's
Mjolnir.
here for Fly.
Mate, Stone Gaze ready to go. Getting his mana burn
find a way out.
immediately.
Good blink. Good blink to get some distance. Stone Gaze used, but now the Fissure lands. Old 11's in trouble. Echo Slam committed. They get the kill on Old 11. He's not able to get the Doom out. The song is not in time. They get the Aegis out of the hands of Fly. They also take out this life of Old 11. Fly, you can see he's got some good damage, but he needs a little bit of help here. He's got Emo. XXS goes in, and he ends up paying for it. And now they're going to go after Ame and XM. They don't have Exorcism anymore. XM on the run, has a Rod of Atos to get some lockdown, throws the silence out, as well as that Rod of Atos to lock down Fly for a moment. Dissimulate, Jinkyu blinks in, has the totem, stuns up Fly. The Meld Strike on a Jinkyu does some decent damage, but the Gorgon's Grasp misses.
They are definitely lacking control. If Earthshaker isn't the one who's getting them stunned in place, the rest of the team is not that good at doing so. And XXS will need to be more careful. He is not as tanky as he thinks, especially jumping into the Void Spirit. But yeah, we saw the damage coming out from Templar Assassin, almost 5,000 damage. Man, Fly, we've seen some really crazy builds from the carries this game. From TI Qualifier so far. Mostly coming out from Erica. I think Erica had some really cool stuff. I believe he played Luna as well yesterday when he did go for Diffusal Blade on Luna. And we're seeing Diffusal Blade on Templar Assassin. Mjolnir, Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, the diffusal will be nice. By the way, I'm replaying the game in my head so far. Have we seen Asunder?
I don't think so.
I was just curious.
Boboka, like, I don't think he has been in most of these fights anyway.
He was top when that fight was happening. Bottom.
He's kind of chilling on a different side of the map. This is what 9 class does as well on Terrorblade. He's on a different side. There was a really fun moment during the Dream League where he was sitting on the other side of the map, camping for a good, like, 45 seconds, trying to get the Sunder off. I mean, there's always something with this guy whenever he plays TB. I remember one of the games, one of the previous tournaments, where he jumps in, blinks in to try to get the Sunder, and the other hero had Iron Shell on it, so he just dies.
Drums used, and they will find Polos in. Fly, wicked sick.
Fly is solo carrying this game. He's playing an amazing Dota right now. I really love when we are seeing different item builds, still showing that Dota doesn't necessarily need to be like, must buy this item, especially on certain heroes that it's kind of set to buy the items. But seeing this Mjolnir and Emo,
Radaveto's silence, and then they've got the fissure follow-up stun. I mean, this is just, it shows how quickly invulnerable this Void Spirit is. Who has the Sags in 1800 gold. The Midas is paying off a little bit, but you're going to need survivability on this Void Spirit. Stone Gaze committed. Ame really low, but the fissure follow-up, Ame's still alive. Can anybody cut him off at the pass? It doesn't look like it. He's going to be able to back all the way up, and now they've got the sleep. It's on a 2. Kinku coming in. They've got the damage to get Fly, and that's a big kill. The look over as the BKB was used by Old 11 to TP out, but a kill on the Emo and a kill on a Fly is massive for Xtreme Gaming.
Having Earthshaker and ET on the same team, this usually doesn't happen, but both of the supports and look for Boboka. He's farming. He's the next core. He wants to get that nullifier. It's a good one, but not sure about all the value that they're going to be getting from it. There's not too many things to remove in this game. Timbersaw didn't go for Aghanim Scepter. You know, you can remove Pavis, and you can remove Enchant Totem. But this is pretty much it, at least for now.
You're talking about what you like about Dota is the fact that there are always different builds, and it is never the same game twice. Millions upon billions of games.
Well, my friend who has 4,000 games on Sniper would disagree. He has a set build. Sometimes he has to change it for the meta, and then he's ready to go. For the next 6 months, he doesn't have to think about what he's buying on the hero.
I was more talking about the pro scene. But
you never know. This guy could go pro.
Are they in the chat? Are they listening? Can they actually go pro? Give him the hard news right now.
He definitely can. But,
okay.
You never know what can happen. Everybody else stops playing Dota, then he's the only guy left. 1v1 sniper mid against some guy. He wins the tournament. TI 2029. I mean, it might be too early. TI 2040 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, why does Ame have GD Poland bag? Health restoration lost 30%. This item has been buffed. I'm just thinking what he wants to remove from the enemy. And also Vampiric against Doom, which is not the greatest. Sure, if he doesn't get doomed, getting some of the lifesteal is, again, not the greatest. Neither is spell lifesteal. Interesting. Ame is onto something.
We'll see if he's cooking. If he's cooking with oil or not. Or cooking with gas. Roche seems like it's going to be a longer spawn. About a minute and a half. Aether Remnant connects. Fissure. Now they're out of Atos. Fly in a very precarious position once again. They're going to have 11 jump forward. He'll throw the Doom. It's going to be on a Jinkyu. That should be a kill at least onto the Earthshaker. That means no Echo Slam. BKB committed from XXS. XM. Spirit Siphon's breaking off. But Fly backed away for a moment. Let's see if they can continue forward and look for Ame. They need that mana to be depleted from Ame. They need the help from Old 11. He's got himself that mana burn still. But they don't exactly want to fight completely into Exorcism, and they push this side of Xtreme back by getting that kill on the Jinkyu. He's dead for 30.
All of that just to get a kill on Jinkyu. Everybody.
Doom was used. I mean, that's
their
a
big
positive.
abilities. Ame still has
burn
Stone
again.
Gaze, but not much mana to work with.
Yeah, just constantly getting mana burned here by Old 11. They're going to get the tier 2 tower, at least try to. They should be able to get it with the way that Xtreme are positioning themselves. They're not exactly looking for the fight without Jinkyu, who's got Echo Slam and will be ready to jump in with that Blink Dagger when he's alive. But they take the tier 2 tower, they back away from this area of the map, and Xtreme really don't get much of anything.
6k gold lead for them. Roshan, let's see how he's doing. He's about to respawn.
Are you sure?
Another 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Fly. Going into Butterfly as his next item, it seems. And Ame also thinking about getting Butterfly after finishing off Scotty.
Okay.
Wants to get as many effects as possible with the Aghanim Scepter. So having AoE Scotty, Mjolnir as well on split shot, it does feel nice.
Did Bobaga... Oh, Bobaga didn't commit to the
No, I mean, there's
nullifier.
nothing. We said that there's nothing to nullify. They're not building
Yeah.
into Yule's Scepter. There's one Glimmer Cape now, Solar Crest. That's about it.
I thought he might build a diffusal or something. I don't know. Just to have the extra. But he wants Yasha right now. See if he
Wants to
commits. He's got
scale.
4,000
I
gold.
think he should start to scale. Drums, Vlads, giving your allies good amount of attack speed, good amount of damage, some extra lifesteal.
Well,
4,000
showing
gold.
these heroes are bottom.
Yeah, I think he needs to start to scale. Try to be another core, maybe later build into Scotty as well. Great against Timber, great against Dead Prophet, because others are not going to be buying into Scotty.
Ollie looking for Aghanim Scepter. We'll need some time for that. There's the
full
disperser for
disperser.
Fly.
Yeah. Makes him much more maneuverable in the fights. Or he can remove the silence, remove some of the annoying things on him, get hasted in the middle of a fight.
So Bobaga now has chosen to go Butterfly.
That's scaling, yeah.
And he's got Butterfly. Fly's got no Butterfly. He was thinking about Butterfly at one point. But he does have Fly in the name. XXS or Splitter now rocking in his area. But Old 11 jumps in. He's got the Doom. It's on a Jinkyu once again. They go to the Exorcism. XM's going to come from the top part of this area. He's got the silence on the Emo who pops the BKB. They still don't get the kill on any of these heroes just yet. The Doom is exposed and used. But now with the BKB pop by XM, they're not going to get anything out of this. They've used Doom. EXO is used as well. So Xtreme have some time to work with this Exorcism. But the question is, without it, do they want to fight near Roche?
Without EXO, it's very difficult. I'm looking at the minimap. These illusions from Dire are scouting everything. They are blocking the camps. You can see him trying to de-ward as well on one side of the map. It just gets very annoying. They can never push out the lanes. Gem as well, picked up on Nagasiren, Ollie, Guardian Greaves. Doesn't need many items. It's more about survivability, breaking the fight, and then trying to heal the allies up.
We talked about Terribly not wanting the Nullifier because it wasn't really going to be that great of an item for him, but we see that now Emo is the one building it. He's got a Q. He hasn't purchased anything yet.
Once the jump on the target, after seeing Solar Crest and especially seeing Glimmer Cape, you want to get the jump on Earthshaker. You've seen him getting doomed twice in a row. We've seen Doom's actually hating position 4 so far in the qualifiers, where Shadow Shaman has been target of Doom pretty much every single game, and now Earthshaker's getting the same treatment.
Roche now settled in the top pit. Is Ame, Scotty, Mjolnir going back to Butterfly, level 22?
Scotty? What is Scotty? Is that?
That's how I say it.
Do you? I never noticed.
Yeah, you know, you've made fun of me for this millions of times.
I don't think I did. Scotty.
Scotty. That's how I say it.
Why you no buy?
Why you no buy? Scotty. A splitter. It's going to be off the mark. Does sound like an item from Star Wars. Looking at the Doom, Sanjinyasha, BKB, Drums, Veil, full Shiva's Guard.
Shiva's Guard is the big one. Reducing the healing. They already have Doom. Health Restoration now. From both Dead Prophet, Timbersaw. Butterfly completed on Baboka. Giant Small. Did Timbersaw commit? Yeah, he did. Gleipnir is ready, so bigger AoE.
Yeah, that and Roderigo's for XM.
Still needs. Let's see if he gets the Zune. Because you want to have that extra AoE. Chakrams are going to be massive. There's 2 more Mad Stones.
Chakrams flying through. Fly taking some decent damage, but now Emo jumps in with BKB. They're looking for Jinkyu. They're going to throw the Doom, but it's going to be reflected again. This is another 4-position Doom onto Jinkyu, but it doesn't exactly kill him immediately. They go to the song. He is dead walking back. But
last stick of Doom actually killed him. Has buyback available.
Might use it if they dive in too deep. They're still looking over at XXS. Whirling Death does a lot of damage on Old 11. Fly standing his ground up against Ame. Old 11 does have that mana burn, so constantly using it onto the Medusa. You're just looking for the opportunity that maybe they feel comfortable to go for Roche, but
flow.
I would say
140 move speed with Scotty.
Fly. They need to be careful on this Templar Assassin. They've got Gem, but it's on XM, who's actually not even near the fight.
Look what Bowick is doing while all this is happening. He's pushing the bottom lane, knowing that if they move 5 heroes to the mid lane, he's going to take their barracks. He has Vlad's Butterfly on TB. Bullison is dead.
Yeah, he's dead. No Elder Train. That's actually pretty big. If they could get the kill here on XXS, that would set them up potentially for Roche. But now Fly, no refraction. He finally gets it off again. Ame's going to stand his ground. He's going to get the kill on a Templar Assassin. And Old 11.
One more hit.
He's alive.
Blink Dagger.
At least for the moment, has the blink, gets away.
The aura actually keeping him alive. Guardian Greaves aura giving him extra armor and regeneration. Bobica pushing the bottom lane. As we said, somebody needs to address this. XXS, he's going to be the one.
He's going to try. He's saved the tier 3 for now. They're trying to go into Roche. They've still got this exorcism going. But is anybody going to be willing to make the move to jump in under this? They do not have Song, and Emo's not by the pit. So Roche is going to be claimed here by Xtreme Gaming.
Ame will pick it up. Ame also getting closer to his level 25. Extra 40 intelligence is a lot, but so is Mana Burn. Mana Burn on Doom, this ability does scale. So once you get to the 4 times target's intelligence, it is a lot.
Big items coming out. Hurricane Pike, Nullifier, Hex for the Death Prophet.
Can we see the damage, please? I want to see damage dealt by Baboka in the fight. Because I feel like this is right now sitting at some 6,000-7,000 maybe max. Doesn't feel like he's been doing anything. All right, 7,000. I was not too far away.
Doom used. Leitner, though, comes through. They're looking to get this kill onto XXS. It looks pretty dead, but the Echo Slam committed. They try Song. Is this to follow up with more or to leave? It looks like it's to try and escape, and they'll get the kill in XXS and then back away. Yeah, this Outworld staff almost saving him.
It's a very good item. It's one of my favorite items. Kind of sad we removed Ogre's Shield Totem. That item was OP. This was the counter to Nullifier. And now you have this. It's not as good as Ogre's Shield Totem, but still gets the job done.
I miss Ogre Seal Totem. Too good of an item, though. Daedalus almost finished for Templar Assassin. Flyfly's doing the damage, but so is Ame, who's sitting top of the net worth by 3,000. He can stand his ground and really make Yakult suffer if given the openings, and we saw that in the triangle a little while ago. They have just not been able to crack the shell yet of this extreme gaming high ground. They've been controlling the game for the first 40 minutes, but you are definitely feeling the impact of Ame and Farm.
Finally, this Medusa feels ready. Is level 25 right now, sitting at 2.6k mana pool at the moment. But illusions are causing a lot of trouble. Throughout this whole game, they can't push. They can't go. Like, I don't remember last time we've seen them go across the river.
No, they really haven't been able to do so. Bobica is just putting the pressure on these illusions. Really a pain in the butt. He's going into the Scotty next.
Yeah, I really love that choice.
He is scaling. He has got 20,000 net worth on this Terrorblade.
With 7,000 damage. Eventually, I guess you need to start dealing the damage. Use all that farm that you're getting. It's not that he's stealing away farm from his team, because he's farming on the other side of the map where nobody else wants to farm.
Success will be fine. A little fake hype there. Not really using this Aegis for much yet. Out of Atos, Demon Zeal, Silence, Jinkyu looking for the stun, Exorcism even committed. They've gotten a Fissure to follow it up. Bobica is a Lotus Orb. He can't Sunder. And he's dead.
DP committing with Exo. Maybe he could have popped the Echo Slam. Even on the ground, the Shard would still give them stun. And look at the damage from Ame.
Emo forced the BKB.
Bobica has been shut down. That's what's important. And now
for 50 seconds,
Naga Siren's going to be doing the same thing as Bobica. So is Flyfly. Forcing out the Glyph immediately. Naga Siren illusions in the mid lane, trying to cut the creep wave as well. This is just so annoying, so obnoxious to play against. Eventually, they will need to take the fight. Flyfly pushing out the bottom lane, did kill the tower.
They Glyph, so he might just be able to get this Rax. So the 2-3 top being pushed by Ame.
Backdoor protection. He can do it. Yeah, eventually he will get it.
Takes the melee Rax.
Ame
resets that Glyph.
20 seconds.
Still, top set of Rax. I mean, nobody is going for it. Terrorblade's finally back alive, and they've got the top set of Rax for free. They have barely crossed the river, but now they've got this Aegis, and they were able to put the confidence in to go and get themselves a Rax for free. I mean, no contest there from Yakult, who are trying to get a Rax of their own, and they do get the melee Rax bottom. But man, this is Yakult kind of just giving up that top lane, and that's going to be now potentially an issue pushing in naturally.
Minimap tells a story how this game has been played out in the last 25-30 minutes, where both of the supports are constantly pushing the waves. Not much you can do. They can't take the fight. Bobica has been sitting in this bottom lane for a really long time, applying pressure. If they can find an opening, if they can find one good kill, maybe even Naga Siren needs to start scaling, start thinking about getting the bigger items.
Naga Siren has 4,100 gold to get this Aghanim Scepter. Remember with the days of Ali having no farm. And yeah, now he's got 14,700 gold, way ahead of this Elder Titan. Decide to pick up the Ags if he wants. Osh not up for another 2 minutes. 9,000 net worth lead here for Yakult. Neither team really looking to fight just yet. You've got Bobica still farming on the top end of the map. He wants the Scotty, and now we just travel 2 on Emo. Jump in, looking over at XXS. But now they have found Old 11 who jumped in. Firefly is going to try and help with some of this damage. The Earth Splitter is going to fly a little bit short of this Doom, but Emo jumps forward. They've got the silence with the Resonant Pulse and the Dissimulate to get the distance away. It's hard to catch these heroes. They are quite elusive, and the whole time this is allowing the Bobica Illusions to push up in top.
Bobica taking the enemy outpost on the other side, and we'll start to push the tier 2 tower. This is not the most fun game to play for Bobica, but this is the type of a game that he needs to play. He might be actually one of the few guys that actually enjoys doing this.
Smile on his face the entire time. Tier 2 tower top is going to be in trouble, while at the same time they get the kill into Jinku. So now XM commits with that Exorcism.
Bobica going for the high ground. Double catapult wave.
How long are you going to feel comfortable to just take this fight? If it's a long, drawn-out fight, and now you've lost the Elder Titan, they might be able to make you pay and get themselves a center axe in the top lane if they hold them off their base, but they are able to get back, and they also use this glyph. But now Firefly, he's right by this rack, so he's going to be able to take the range racks, at least. The top tier 3's in some trouble. They are pushing these lanes and really starting to try to overwhelm Xtreme Gaming, who don't have their supports for another 30 seconds. Firefly protected by the Aether Remnant, or at least anybody coming in close, he's protected by that Aether Remnant.
They can. This is one of the few times where you can see a team pushing 2 lanes at the same time without getting punished.
No look for Ame. Lotus Sword, BKB, buyback committed from Pelosin. Bobica uses that song.
He's got to get the racks in the top lane.
Using that song, controlling them, gets himself the range racks. There is nobody able to stop Bobica, and he is able to TP out. So these buildings just, I mean, they're not fighting in this crazy amount, but I mean, it's working. The buildings are dying.
They're in their heads. It's impossible to deal with it. Look at the damage numbers. 17 damage dealt by Naga Siren, 0 by ET, and 10,000-11,000 by Templar Assassin and Bobica. Really glad that he decided to pick up the scaling items, has Vlads, has drums, and then after that he's like, well, let's see, Force Staff, Hurricane Pike, Butterfly, and now Eye of Scotty. Pretty much 6-slotted. He can still get rid of some of these items, some of these smaller ones, which he just did, and we'll be going for Shadow Blade. It'll be even more annoying. They will have to go for Hail Mary type of a play. XM with Exorcism, Ame, go for the high ground. Maybe even start thinking about going Divine Rapier. It's not the best.
The creep wave. They're in on they're in on XXS. They doomed him. He's dead. They're going to try and get the tier 3 over mid, but at the same time, they're looking to push in the backdoor protection here. So now Xtreme Gaming, they're thinking about going into the tier 4s. They're like, hey, we've got backdoor. You're going to try and base race. We'll TP you back. And now tier 4 is going to drop. XM, Ame doing the damage, trying to finish off this game, or at least put the side of Yakult in such a bad protection. Way. They're going to buy back on XXS. As Bobica, he is in on the towers again. And they got the throne exposed. So Ame's going to stand here. Now they've got the backdoor on the throne, so it's not going to be doable for Xtreme, but both teams playing this non-fight, just building-oriented game.
Yeah, they don't want to take the fight. Ame buying clarity at 49 minutes into the game on Medusa to have a little bit of extra oomph. And thinking about bots too, but I also think he might, because if he buys bots too, he can be in the base, deal with this rat that Bobica has been for the last 30 minutes, and then TP to a fight if they're pushing. But I could also see him maybe get another damage item, get a Divine Rapier. Refresher as well, picked up on Doom.
Scotty on Emo. On Terrorblade. They are forward, they are across the river, but still, Bobica lurks. I've seen a lot of rats in the trains of New York City in the tunnels areas and throughout the entire city. But
Bobica, he's the biggest
big
one.
Rat.
Yeah, he's the master splinter. And the 4 Ninja Turtles in the base, turtling, trying to defend.
Michelangelo, Donatello. The other 2, Leonardo. I don't know the other ones. I don't know the last one, but 17,000 net worth lead, but Raphael, yeah. 17,000 net worth lead, but the throne's exposed. Now they're going to find Ame. They get the Doom. It's not going to be reflected this time, but the Echo Slam comes in from JQ. The damage with the Earth Splitter. All to 11 and Emo taken out, but Bobica's in on the base. How long are you willing to go for this? He will look for your tier 4s.
Old 11,
He's got one.
he doesn't have buy. Old 11, bought refresher.
He does not have buy, but Jinkyu's back. Bobica's still trying for this base, and now... Wait a second.
They do see him. Jinkyu has gem.
I was going to say, there's no way this Shadow Blade works, surely. They got the kill on Ali. They also took out the Nagasar, who's going to be forced to buy back. Bobica will eventually die. Can he get a Sunder finally in the game? Lotus Orb? Oh my god, Bobica can never use this Sunder. Meanwhile, Fi-Fi has to run away from XM.
It is time to try to go and finish the game. There's the Divine Rapier. Instead of going for bots 2, he did buy it, and he's sitting on 4,000 gold. They should have a pretty good read that Doom doesn't have buyback. He just bought bots 2, he bought Refresher Orb, and they're ready to go. They're ready to close it out.
They don't have a glyph. I don't really know how you stop this. Fi-Fi is just going to die. Has buyback, but by the time you get back into the face of Ame, I think you just lose your throne, and you will. GG called. Xtreme Gaming down 17,000 net worth. They just lost the game on Yakult and Xtreme.
Void Spirit, 2 supports. Nature's Prophet doesn't deal as much damage. Dark Willow, she needs to be on top of people. Lena's definitely fine. I said that you need to have somebody else to deal the damage. Axe is definitely that guy. They kind of needed an extra body in front. Same thing happened for Xtreme Gaming. They also wanted to have somebody else to soak up the damage. So for the Drow Ranger to have 2 guys in front of her and 2 guys that synergize real nicely with the minus armor.
We'll see if we get to these points in the game as they smoke up, looking for the bounties mid. We saw the last game there was a pre-bounty fight, rare so far in the region.
Wait. Something. Look at the Lord of the Rings. Old 11. The Sauron himself. His itemization.
Interesting. Interesting axe itemization, for sure.
This is real. This is... Extra 6...
The battle begins.
Go on.
It's too much.
He's buying another one. He has another one queued up. He's trying to bling out.
I'm taking the screenshot of this and posting
on
my Twitter, on Reddit as well. Back in the days, Benjamin, thing was that Axe was buying double Vanguard at one point of a time. There it is. Ring of Protection.
Yeah, you might want to wait and taking that screenshot until he's got the 4th one. Thumb ring, pinky ring. Ring for the middle finger, ring for the pointer finger. Not a wedding ring. At least not in the game. Married to the game in the lane. We'll see what they can do. But how much damage is Old 11 going to take? Is he going to feel comfortable here with all 4 rings of protection?
It's too much. Like, he just brought the 4th ring, and that 4th ring gave him 3 extra %. He was sitting at 36 or 37, and now he's sitting at 40.
So diminishing returns. 3% doesn't sound like a lot. Mid lane XM against Emo on the Slardar Void Spirit matchup. How does this go? How does this matchup really look?
Definitely does well in this one. Emo will need to be careful. I think there's also a good chance that XM gets the kill in this matchup. Emo is a guy who loves to overextend, and he might get punished by Slardar.
Yeah, we've seen Emo a couple times. He did it in the last game, especially a little bit of overextension that came out from him on this Void Spirit. My real question is, are we going to see him again go for, say, the Midas? Is he going to think that this game is going to take long? Because we've talked about all 3 games have been a situation of there will eventually be a point in which Xtreme hit their power timing later in the game. And they've done it in games 1 and 2.
TP to the mid lane. Ollie.
XM. He
Has
is
a
one
bottle.
shot and still alive. Oh no. That could have been big for Emo. And Ollie came over and it just doesn't work out for Emo to get that kill. And maybe he can land an Aether Remnant and they can get the damage, but it still just does not look plausible now.
Also leaving Lina alone in the bottom lane, which is going to give free farm to Pangolier. Not what you want to have. This is a bit of a better matchup for Pango in the side lane because he's playing into relatively weak position 5. Lina doesn't have any kind of ways of setting things up for the stun. And as soon as Pango gets to level 3, 2 points in shield crash is going to do the trick. And I like that our observers are pointing out that Axe is just bringing the armor. Doesn't need any stats, sitting at 60 damage at the moment.
How much did that give him percentage-wise? 8%. Fly forced back with the chicken fingers. So this is chicken fingers and not Giga Ward. And I really like the massive serpent ward. I thought it might have been good in a situation like this. Fly again in trouble, but the call now, top lane Pelosin. He will be a-okay.
We don't have Ringmaster, but we do have Ringmaster at home with this Axe build. What is this? What actually is this? He's sitting at 12 CS, so they're not winning the lane. They could have pulled the lane, which would kind of do the same thing. Something that they did have on Xtreme Gaming 2 games in a row. You're playing against Nagasar, and she can't really stop you from pulling the lane.
I'm not certain.
Maybe they're punishing Boboka, because
exactly.
Boboka needs to buy all the region for his Axe. So you had a lot of farm, now you need to play the support actually in this game. So do your job and feed me tangos.
But isn't the point of having all this extra armor to take less damage to not need this regen?
It's good for jungling as well. I'm wondering when he's going to go to jungle, because he doesn't take the damage from the creeps. Sitting at, where's he at right now? 15 armor, which is 50% physical resistance. Plus having the damage block.
We'll see how it goes for old 11. I'm confident something will work out here with all this armor. Shadow Realm Strike on Ame, not doing too much. Sarner's going to have this level 6 as well, and then he'll just be minusing that armor. The Corrosive Haze level 1 armor reduction to 10 will be quite noticeable.
We did say that this lineup is all about physical damage. Drow Ranger, piercing through the base armor. Then you have Slaughter with Corrosive Haze. Pango with Lucky Shot, level 10 talent. So that's minus 11, minus 13 armor, actually. He's prepping. I'm just wondering what the... you have no stats. You have no mana whatsoever, but eventually you're gonna need to get rid of those items.
Yeah, it's not... They're just slot fillers at the moment. I guess you could make a buckler with one of them. But he's going Blade now. Look over it. Emo in trouble. Corrosive Haze was on him, but now XM, he's the one who's on the run. It's in this water, though. They've got the shackle. It's on to Emo. Pelosi moving forward. Blood Grenade. Ether Shock on a 3. Some decent damage. Ollie hit with the chinken fingers.
XM's coming
and
back.
they've got this Aether Remnant, but XM, he's got Corrosive Haze and good Bramble Maze. Locks him up. But there's the net. And the Slithering Crush, the damage there. XM gets the kill on the Emo. Now looking over at Boboka. Do they have the damage? But the double Slithering Crush. Uh-oh. XM a little bit afraid
He's
of coming
reaching up.
through under the tower, but they'll
Give him
get
the triple.
Bobica, they'll get Ollie, and everybody gets a kill. XM gets first blood, Pelosin gets second, Jinkyu gets third, everybody fed and no longer famished.
He was kind of lucky to find that rune in the bottom lane, had a healing salve, so he regioned up more, moving down the river, and had that extra movement speed. Level 1 in sprint is more than enough, and already 3-0 for Xtreme Gaming. All eyes on Axe.
Yeah, what can he get done? Because he's going Blade Mail first. Going Blade Mail first, and what does he have flying out first for the Blade Mail?
Of course, chainmail.
Yeah.
He's cosplaying Clockwork with the chainmail.
Yeah, that's
Ring
what I was
meal.
thinking. Oh, 11, even with all that armor, still down pretty low.
Breaking some ankles. Nice juke. Ring around the rosy with all those rings. About to crack level 6. We'll bring a healing salve. There's some good stacks in the triangle.
He needs to make sure he takes those. They just spotted them with the illusions from Pelosin.
They know. They saw that observer ward being placed down.
Emo, again. Astro
playing
step.
a dangerous
Yeah,
game.
he doesn't have
He got
another
bashed.
step. He stepped forward for the regen rune, and now Ollie's
God.
dead XM.
XM solo destroying. This is his specialty hero. And Emo definitely didn't have to go for that play. They could have easily ran away.
Pelosin stealing some of these creeps. Corrosive Haze and Old 11, you love your armor, but you may be losing some of it if he comes over and uses that Corrosive Haze on you. No bottom lane, but this is feeling grim for Yakult.
Who's going to be the playmaker? It needs
Sprout
to
it
be
up.
Evo, who already died twice.
Yeah, dissimulate, but they just don't have the damage. I mean, the shield
Vanguard's
crash
too
did him
tanky.
well, and yeah, he's too tanky for them. They've got the Shadow Shaman coming through. He's got Shackles ready if need be. Sprout again, but they're going to ping out Ollie. They'll get the chicken fingers, which means they will conceal up this Nature's Prophet. And XM's even down here. He is searching. What does the side of Yakult have going for them? The net lands, the reel in is there. Is the armor enough to have you survive? No, it's not. Old 11 dead. All the armor in the world, and you really can't stand up to drow anyone.
They're falling apart. Not a single kill in this game. Maybe they're going to be able to get one here. Jinkyu
They got one.
will die.
They're on the board. Terrorize.
Get another one. Nicely
XM
done.
would be a lot of gold. Bobica's got another. Emo.
He's getting healed.
Emo. Ooh, the Sprout, the heal. A little bit of a save. The Soothing Saplings. Keeps Emo alive. Oh, God. Is he going to go for another rune that ends up causing him to die? Haste picked by Pelosin.
Into
and
the
he's gonna
bramble
Astral Step.
pulled.
He does get the kill, and Bobica, all of a sudden, he's got 3 there. He got the double kill and that third. He's got all 3 kills for his team, and he's on a killing spree. Bobica, it's back to being a core for you.
Bobica had good amount of XP because he was stacking for Axe, who cleared those stacks, considering that they were losing the lanes, and he managed to get level 6 off of that, and then get Bedlam, get Terrorize on top of them, but also nicely done near the rune. Bramble Maze into Remnant, pulled into another Bramble Maze.
Vanguard for the Pangolier. Ollie's in here with Emo again showing up. They need to really start cutting into this 3,000 net worth deficit. Haven't seen
Qualifier's
much
doing an
impact
okay
from-
job.
Yeah.
Considering everything that has happened in the game, he had no rotations whatsoever to come to his lane. He's doing okay. Did lose the tower, but also this build on Pango that you mentioned, going for Vanguard, going for Blade Mail, wants to be as tanky as possible. Jinkyu has Serpent Wards ready.
He's going
Not
for
a
blade
Giga
now. He's
ward.
got the chip vest too. Can't really step up to the serpent wards because of the corrosive haze. They have Ollie to take it from a distance. And then there it is. There's the Hex. Terrorized, though. Lands onto 2. The Rolling Thunder from behind them to simulate, getting some distance. Path of Nature doing some decent damage on the Jinkyu, but I don't know if that's going to matter. Swashbuckle Ollie alive with 15 health. Bash, Slither, and Crush. LSA lands on 2. They've got the Laguna Blade to assimilate on XM. Jinkyu was looking for something, but the Astral Step from Emo. And now one more right click does pull off the kill onto Jinkyu. Meanwhile, Ame got a solo kill on the old 11 while off screen. They use the song. They'll try to chase. They got Fly, though, killing off the Lina that was trying to at least pull back into the game. And that ends up being a 2 for 2 because of the kill onto the Axe top.
Not too bad of a trade, considering everything that did happen in the lanes. And XM is getting controlled. He's definitely getting controlled by these Bramble Mazes, by Sprout, so he's stuck. Then he gets terrorized. We'll definitely need second item BKB. Getting very close to his Blink Dagger. But as you said, they also managed to get a kill in the top lane. Ame having the time of his life on Drow Ranger. We've seen it time and time again where he's playing Drow. He has a complete free farm. Then the rest of the team is playing the game. And the other team is like, we got to kill Ame. And they do so a couple of times. But I think in this one, he's going to have a much easier game compared to the previous games that we've seen him on Drow Ranger.
They're trying to almost bait them in, looking for these stacks. But it kind of feels like they might be baiting themselves a little bit. If they get dragged in too far or too content with the positioning, they could find themselves in a spot where they just jump in with XM. Maybe even a Rolling Thunder. Boca has Blink Dagger, Bedlam. Not a great spot. Now he's just in no man's land, and he is going to be hexed, hit with the chicken fingers, shackled, controlled. He's dead. And tries to commit. XM, he gets the kill on a Fly. He ate that Laguna Blade. Wrath of Nature flies through, but doesn't do much. They've got the Sprout and the Battle Hunger on the XM, but they just aren't getting anything. And Ame, he actually even elected to go bottom while all this is going on to farm, while they're now trying to take this stack with the Serpent Wards that they placed down. Everything is going Xtreme's way.
Everything except that they just got XP runes. So that's something. A little victory that they should celebrate because the fights are not going in their favor. Look at the win probability, 77%. They know that this type of a lineup with all this minus armor is definitely going to punish you. Slaughter, level 1 ulti, that's minus 10. Getting closer to level 12, which is going to be minus 15. Then you're going to start seeing Pangolier getting more points into Lucky Shot. Pick up that level 10 talent.
Again, the solo Bedlam just not enough. Bobica trying to make too much happen. Really trying to be a hero here, and Slardar has
XM
that Blink Dagger.
the
Looks
solo
over
kill.
for
Nice
Fly
dodge.
and gets the kill on this Lina. Oh, the dodge, the
He's not
damage,
done.
the kill, and he looks for more. He's got Blink Dagger in 2, so if you stay too close, you're probably going to die.
Croakers griefing as per usual.
Emo might be the
Stunning
target.
his illusions.
Blink, Slither, and Crush. Corrosive Haze on him, but doesn't need to commit to that. Another Bedlam and another potential kill here for Bobica, but at the end of the day, he is going to be spotted. Rolling Thunder coming through. They hit the Aether Remnant.
got
XM's
called.
controlled for a moment. The song, oh, the Culling Blade. Emo, he gets the kill on XM.
Ame's coming. Maybe they were thinking about taking the fight. Hold the
They are
high ground.
Thinking on the high ground, but they don't have Shadow Shaman. They don't have this Slardar. Old 11, he doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so they are just chasing on foot, but they've got the Battle Hunger on XXS, who comes in with the Shield Crash. There's the call. Multi-shot. Blink in again. Bedlam solo target looking for Ame. They get the kill on the Drow Ranger. Now the Curse Crown's going to pop on XXS, but it's too late to save Bobica. Blows it in a little bit deep, and he'll pay for it with his life. Fly getting the kill there, and Yakult fighting back.
Overextending, that's for sure. Xtreme Gaming thinking about taking the fight without Slardar. Slardar is the key guy for them to be able to get the initiation. In the end, he does pick up Shard of his own, so we'll have that extra minus armor immediately. for 5 seconds, so you don't have to use Corrosive Haze. Might get an extra hit in between. Boboka's doing a lot of work. Boboka's been involved in 7 out of 9 kills. Probably has the highest damage output on his team.
He's trying really hard to have these solo Bedouin targets and get that damage out to help his team find a way to come back. And he is top of the damage almost in the game.
I'm in the blast of a game. Blink Dagger blanks on top of the target, but he also did kill himself on that Blade Mail from Pangolier. XXS going for a bit of a different item build. I think Xtreme Gaming is a better team when playing from behind when they're staying ahead. It feels like something's getting into their heads where they can't keep getting that advantage. They're a very good comeback team.
Interesting move by Boboka. He just threw a Terrorize into the pit and jumped, blinked in, and looked to, I guess, hope that somebody was in there?
This is when you say, nice try, nice try. And
NT.
keep doing what you're doing, yeah.
Hold 11 now has that Blink Dagger. Hold on, let me take a look. He's, thought he got rid of a ring for a second. But he has only 3 rings now. All he really needs is 1 ring to rule them all anyway. Ollie gonna die in a Jin-Q there. Down in the bottom lane with the Serpent Wards under the tier 2 tower. Anybody gonna defend on this? The Glyph. XM, blink, call short. Just a bit short of getting that call on XM.
Not the easiest target to kill anyway. He had a bit of that shield rune left still, sitting at 2000 HP. What a difficult one to get. And they need to start thinking about getting some objectives on the map. Going for Tormentor, going for Roche. Basically, you can solo Roche. By solo, I mean Slaughter and Shadow Shaman can pair up together and kill the Roshan.
Serpent Wars, Corrosive Haze. Yolner almost finished for Fly. But you see the net worth differences on the cores, and they are about a half item ahead on each hero. XM wants the BKB early on. Crimson Guard, Blade Mail, XXS is going to be pretty tanky. And I believe Drow has that full Ags flying out.
This is also not just Ags. We saw him rushing the Aghanim Scepter with Falcon Blade, but he does have Dragonlance in between.
Yeah, this time allowed to get a little bit more farm. Usually he gets controlled in lane, dies 3 or 4 times early on, but he is in pretty open space for the moment.
Boboka did place Observer Ward near the Tormentor, but he's getting scouted. Oh, he got scouted immediately by Naga Siren.
Song used on the Shadow Realm. They're going to get this kill, and then they have the opportunity to just get themselves a Tormentor as well with the Corrosive Haze. They're going to need more heroes here than just, I believe, the 2. I say that, but yeah, now they've got a third.
Here.
Yeah. And they've got this.
And I love the build on Shaman. Shadow Shaman going for Glimmer Cape as his first item after picking up Arcane Boot. So not going for anything greedy, seeing that they have a mid laner who can initiate. And also, Glimmer Cape can be really, really good against everything that they have. A little bit of protection of their own. Great against Lina. Most of the damage that they do have is magical anyway.
Now smoke on the side of Yakult. They need to get a kill here. They need to find something. They're down 8,000 net worth. It is really spiraling out of control. XXS is going to break the smoke. The Astral Step going forward. XXS, he's got the Rolling Thunder, and now that means there's no blink, there's no call. But Ame might still die. They've got the Sprout. They should be able to get the kill with a 3-man Slither and Crush. They still get Ame, but Boboka and Ollie are dead. Emo's going to follow suit. He'll fall 3 done.
We've seen this so many times. So many times Ame dies and the rest of the team is ready to clean it up. Every single game he plays Raw Ranger, it's the same thing happening. Nicely done as well from Old 11. He uses Berserker's Call and then TP's out. Doesn't give him enough time to react on Shadow Shaman. But this game looks pretty rough for Yakult brothers. Lina will need to do quite a lot of damage in the next couple of fights. Every single game, Ame getting focused down pretty heavily.
Serpent Ward's even committed here. Old 11 gets away, though, by the skin of his teeth. And Fly, he's trying to find the farm to make something happen. I mean, they're going towards Roche, but this is too late. They had the smoke. They had a chance, but they just are too slow to react. Now you've got an Aegis on Ame, so plan kill Ame doesn't really work. But does that make Xtreme weaker?
I don't think so. This game is very difficult to throw. Considering what they have, all these tankiness, two really beefy position 2 and position 3. Blink Dagger on Pango now, so you can follow Slaughter up in some of these fights. A lot of minus armor. This is minus 13 coming out from Lucky Shot. Slaughter level 2 ulti, minus 15. That's minus 28 armor. Let's see if anyone has... We should check Axe first. He's sitting at 31 at the moment, so he's the only one who's going to be in plus.
Those rings. They have found themselves another kill onto Emo. Emo's been in this position before, though, on the brink of a defeat in a series of BO5 on a Void Spirit. That being said, he just does not have a lot of gold. It is not easy for him to defend here.
You can only do that once in your career. I don't think he's going to be able to replicate anything similar. Every single rune is controlled by Xtreme Gaming. Another arcane rune for Slaughter.
They lost the tier 1 top, but the tier 2 bottom is the trade. And the Serpent Ward's placed over mid, trying to get 2 towers out of this with no reaction. They're going to send these heroes over. They have an Observer Ward watching Fly. They know exactly where he is. Oh, XM. Use that Slithering Crush. Now he's going to blink. And now he's got another Crush. And Fly bashed up. Killed, gone, no way to get out of this one. Jinkyu also looking for a potential target in this Nature's Prophet, but won't be able to find him. Fly again dying, now for the 4th time.
That's the power of Slaughter. He can pretty much punish anything. Arcane Rune doesn't care too much about his cooldowns. We'll have another BKB in 40 seconds. And getting closer to the Aghanim Scepter. We'll have that status resistance on top of that. Fighting inside any kind of water will give him again 40 status assist. Emo.
Song.
2 Astral Steps.
And
doesn't matter.
He's netted up. He is going to dissimulate. Step. He's alive. Pelosin even tipping, thinking that they had killed Emo, but he ends up surviving, not looking like it's going to matter. Old 11 dead. Ollie gone. Ami getting a double kill, and he's on a killing spree.
They let Emo live. XXS could have easily killed him, but he did go for the different target. He wanted to kill Dark Willow. And now, with this Aegis, less than 2 minutes on it, they're ready to go for the high ground. Slaughter is super tanky, has Big Lotus, and has BKB.
How do you defend against this? Just 2 heroes up. Emo doesn't have a lot of farm. He doesn't have an Ags. He just does Manta style. That's the only item he's got at the moment.
They have no damage. It needs to be Axe, Lina ulti, try to kill off the hero, get on top of Dark Willow with Bedlam, and then get a good Terrorize, try to reset the fight. But other than that, these fights are almost impossible to get. Plus, again, you are fighting into Naga Siren, so she can reset when you come in with the Blink Dagger on Axe. And so far, this triple or quadruple Ring of Protection and Axe hasn't been working out. Maybe he knew. Maybe this is the big brain play from Old 11, saying that he's not going to get any Coat of Blood charges, so he will get any extra armor that he can.
Yeah, it's been a game from behind for sure. No coat of arms. It's been tough for Axe. He's trying to get a BKB. He's got a long way to go.
Not close to it. A recipe away. In this type of a game, you need to get a good fight and then farm for another minute or two while they're dead to be able to get it. Aegis. He's gonna run out, but this is the last tier 2 tower.
On a 4-2 and 4. Yakult trying to game plan a comeback, a high ground defense of the Aegis. A blink, slithering crush. Ollie caught for just a second. Not committing to it though. There's the Aegis expiring. Ramble Maze connects onto Ami, but they just don't have anything to follow it up. Newell's Curse Crown, that's still going to go off. The Rolling Thunder was used, and Bobica is going to die here to XXS. They've taken the tier 3 tower. The Rolling Thunder continues, and it hits on a Fly as well as Emo. But XXS, he's here with some help. XM's in. Blink Call, that's going to land from Old 11, but they've got this XM Sword with a BKB, and they just don't have the damage. Wrath of Nature, another Slithering Crush. XM on the run.
Big Lotus.
And he's back to about full health.
XXS, he's so ready immediately. When they jump in with Dark Willow, Yule Scepter, and Curse Crown immediately finds him.
Following the Assimilate.
He's just gone.
Just dead. XM's got too much damage. Old 11, you can buy as many rings as you want, but they just rip through all your armor. They're going to buy back XXS low, but the song comes through, and XXS is going to be able to live. They'll start to retreat. I'm not sure how far back they even need to go. They have that shard on this Naga Siren. Blink, Slither, and Crush on a 2. Emo's dead again. They look over at Old 11. They've got a godlike spree on XXS. They call GG, and Xtreme Gaming, with a clean 3-0, have booked their ticket to the International.
Oh, what a performance in the Grand Finals.